ask for
Okay.
You know what? Put the key in the door and we're out of here.
Welcome to the John Ligato Show. I'm John Ligato.
It's showtime, folks. It's showtime. Here's Johnny.
This is another case and an example of why police officers can no longer do their job. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and this police officer is patrolling downtown Tiburon, California. He's making his rounds and notices activity in a store. He works this area every night and knows from his experience that there is rarely a store open at 1 a.m. He simply stops and asks. Yesaf Khalif, his wife and a friend, are working late at the store.
Hey guys. I've never seen you open this late.
Yeah.
You just restocking?
No, we're just doing our thing.
Just doing your thing? What's your thing?
What's up?
Well, I've never seen anyone in the store this late.
Problem?
No, sir, there's no problem. I've never seen anyone in the store this late. I wanted to come check in, make sure
There's
everything's
no
okay.
problem going on.
Why are you here so late?
It does not matter.
It does matter.
To who?
To me.
Why?
Because the store's never open this late.
Is it your store?
No.
Call your supervisor and let him come here.
At this point, the officer basically has two options. Continue to question Mr. Khalif or leave. But then the officer offers up such a simple solution. Hit me in the comments section on what you would do if you were the officer or Mr. Khalif.
Supervisor, how are you doing?
That's right, how are you,
You
sir?
came, three of you guys. What's going on? What's the problem? There's 3 black people in the store. What's the problem with that?
So it's 1 o'clock in the morning, there's 3 people in the store.
There's 3 black people in the store, 3 o'clock in the morning. What's the problem?
There's 3 people.
There's 3 black people in the store. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What's the problem?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning and
Yes.
we never have any activity at the store at that time.
Okay. I
It's
said
1 o'clock in the morning. This
Okay.
street's closed up at 9 o'clock at night. There's
Okay.
nobody here.
Okay, so what's the problem?
That's the problem.
Okay.
This street closes at 9 o'clock at night and
Okay.
there's never anybody in here.
Okay.
This isn't regular business hours. There's no
Okay.
customers in there.
Okay.
Is it your store? That's all we want to know.
Mr. Khalif immediately mentioned race. I checked the FBI statistics of Tiburon PD and they have no statistical evidence of racial profiling. The police supervisor just told Mr. Khalif, we just want to know if this is your store. And he now provides a very simple way of finding out.
Okay.
Is it your store? That's all we want to know.
Like, do you want to know why?
I want to know what you're doing in the store at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. If I tell you it's my store, then what?
Then show me that it's your store.
I do not have to show you nothing. If I tell you it's my store, then what?
Based on the hour of the day and the fact that stores on that street are closed at 9 p.m., and that Mr. Khalif is combatant and refuses to comply to a simple question, any experienced cop would have reasonable suspicion to pursue this further. In fact, there's a famous case of Terry versus Ohio where the circumstances were almost identical. And the Supreme Court ruled that the police officers could actually pat the people down and frisk them for weapons.
Do you want us to look out for your community, or do you want us to let anybody just walk in here at 2 o'clock in the morning and steal all your stuff?
I want you to look out for my community. Calm down.
My officer is doing his job.
Your officer's not doing his job.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, listen.
Yes, he is.
Listen.
He is doing his job. Man, that's exactly what I did. I knocked and asked if you guys were restocking.
The alarm go off, though.
I didn't know you had an alarm system, sir. I just got here. Sir, we're supposed to
drove
look
by.
out for this neighborhood.
There's a
That's what
sign
we
here
do.
that says Red Roof Security.
Those are a dime a dozen, and half of those aren't even half of those don't have active alarms with them.
Okay. All right. So I want to wrap up this conversation. We're wasting time. So what's going on? What's up? What's the next step?
Prove to us that you have keys.
This is
or
my
way to
store.
get
Okay,
in the
okay,
house.
wait,
There
wait.
you go. That's a perfect thing. I just asked for that.
Okay.
You know what?
Look,
Put the key in the door, and we're out of here.
We're at a critical point here. If you are Mr. Khalif, do you put the key in the door and prove it's your store? But if he refuses, what do the cops do? Feel free to comment below.
Put my key in the door.
That's his store. What's that? That's his store. Thank you very
sir.
much. That's all I need to know. Thank you. See you.
Well, Mr. Khalif agrees to put his key in the door, but a man comes along and verifies that Mr. Khalif is indeed the store owner. Many of you might feel that the cops could have been kinder and nicer, but if they left without verifying ownership and the store was robbed, they'd be at fault. So they leave, and the case is closed, right? Does anyone see any major problems on either side?
The same day as the incident, Mr. Khalif posted a video his friend recorded of the interaction on Yema's Instagram page, alleging that the encounter was an instance of racial profiling. The video went viral, sparking a protest in support of Mr. Khalif and the Black Lives Matter movement. The protest, which occurred on August 29, 2020, was attended by over 200 people who marched to the Tiburon Police Department, where Mr. Khalif spoke about his experience. In response to the outrage, Sergeant Blasi resigned on September 1st, and Tiburon Police Chief Michael Cronin resigned on September 13th. It is unclear whether Mr. Khalif is taking further legal action.
Let me ask you a few questions. Was this a case of racial profiling? And if you say yes, then the question becomes, how do you know? Any facts? Did the cops make racial comments, insults? To me, this was a very typical encounter between the police and a civilian. It's a sad day for law enforcement that 2 police officers were forced to resign with no evidence that they racially profiled anyone. They were simply doing their job. Are there legitimate cases of police behaving badly? Of course. But it's ridiculous to make a general statement that most police are racist or use their authority to prey on innocent civilians. Here's a few cases, examples of police officers being falsely accused. It seems open season on cops who are immediately judged guilty just based on an unfounded accusation.
Russ, DeKalb County prosecutor Chris Timmons told a judge that Crystal Cathcart was trying to get Stone Mountain Police Sergeant Stephen Floyd fired. Well, it didn't work, and her effort led to her pleading guilty in court to a felony charge.
Luckily for Sergeant Floyd, this entire encounter was recorded. He had a body camera as well as a camera in his vehicle.
What you doing, sir?
This is how it unfolded. Stone Mountain Police Sergeant Stephen Floyd pulled over DeKalb Fire Captain Terrell Davis at a local school for an expired tag. Davis calls his co-worker, Crystal Cathcart, to the scene. Sergeant Floyd issued the ticket anyway, but has to ask Crystal Cathcart to step away from the scene since she wasn't involved.
You can wait over there.
Why?
Because I asked you to. This traffic stop had nothing to do.
I can stand right
No,
there.
you cannot stand right there, and this last time I'm going to ask you. Or I'm going to put you in the back of my car.
But Crystal Cathcart filed a written complaint, which included a warning about making a false sworn statement. She claims Sergeant Floyd created a sense of fear at the scene, cussed her out twice, telling her to back the blank up, or he will throw her in the back of my squad car. During an internal investigation after Stone Mountain played Sergeant Floyd's body camera video showing no cussing, Ms. Cathcart changed her story, writing, "I recant the error of Sergeant Floyd using profanity."
False accusations take all forms, but the sad fact is that no cop is presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Lauren and Tim, this woman's story accusing a DPS trooper of sexual assault has been shared nearly 80,000 times online. But early this morning, her attorney issued an apology after DPS released video of that arrest. Around 1:30 Sunday morning, the state trooper pulled over Sharita Dixon Cole on suspicion of drunken driving. She tells the trooper she's coming from downtown Dallas, where she only had one drink, and she's driving to her fiance's house in Waxahachie. During a field sobriety test, the trooper pours out 2 bottles of alcohol he found in her back seat. He places Cole under arrest and asks her to sit in the front seat of his patrol vehicle. Well, this is the point when the woman says the trooper offered to let her go in return for sexual favors. But that exchange is never heard in the video. Cole also accused the officer of fondling, groping, and sexually assaulting her on the way to jail. But those claims also not supported by the video. Hours after her arrest, well-known civil rights activist Shaun King wrote on Facebook and Twitter, this woman was kidnapped and raped by a Texas state trooper. King included a detailed explanation of the claims as explained by Cole and her attorney Lee Merritt.
So what's the bottom line here? These defund the police fanatics may get their way. Police officers are quitting and retiring in numbers as never before. And the ones that left on the job are extremely cautious and reluctant to answer calls or do any proactive police work, choosing to bide their time till retirement. And if this trend continues, American streets will be battlefields and anarchy will reign supreme.